Yeah, so welcome, friends. This is going to be the episode 1 of potentially many. We'll see how it goes. Of a bag of tricks is what we've called the podcast because, you know, me and Trick, we got really big brains. We're going to be talking about, like, New World stuff. Mostly it's going to be New World, but, you know, if we ever want to talk about, like, favorite way to eat a banana or anything else that's going on the internet, maybe MMOs as well. There is quite a few that's coming out this year. Then we'll discuss those as well. But I think before we go any further with the podcast, Trick, there's going to be some people from either side of the community who don't know who the other person is. So, who are you, Mr. Trick? What brings you to this corner of the internet? How have you found yourself with New World and everything?
Welcome. I mean, hi. My name is Trick, and so a little story about myself, dude. My very first online game that I ever played was Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 in a Reign of Chaos. Did you ever play that?
No, I don't think I have played Warcraft.
You never played what? Wait,
no,
what? You never played
I've
any
never
of the
played the OG ones. No, I haven't.
Podcast over. That's it.
He's out. He just leaves.
Dude. Yeah, dude. So I had a PlayStation 1 all the way back in Cuba. That's where I come from. I was born in the little island of Cuba. And I had a PS1 over there, and I got Warcraft 1 and 2 because you could play Warcraft 1 and 2 in PS1. And it was amazing, dude. It was such an amazing game. And then when I got to the United States, I finally got my hands in Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos, which was like super awesome. And I used to play just the storyline. Like I was like a single player gamer. And one day I got enough bravery to join an online match, like actually fight with other people.
Oh my god!
And that was it. That was it, man.
Yeah, and then
after that day,
teabagging and you know.
No, that was not. So, dude, Baggins, I win the game. My first online match. I go to the bathroom and I look at the mirror and I'm like, I have become a new person. Like I know what it feels now to kill all the people. And that was it, man. That was in my beginning of online gaming, and that was all the way back in like 2006, 2007.
Yeah, damn,
and how I got to New World, I didn't even know existed until like a month before it came out. I was actually playing BDO, Black Desert Online.
Oh man.
And yeah, what we were talking about PvP, and one of my friends goes like, "Yo, have you seen New World PvP?" I'm like, "Yo, what is even that?" He showed me a video. I fell in love with it, and I started playing it as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
How about you, B?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's kind of like a similar in some ways. Like I was console gaming as well. I only started like playing on the PC in like I think it was like 2012 or something like that. Maybe no, it must have been earlier than that. Like the first MMO that I got into was Lord of the Rings Online. I know, imagine
of course.
that. Yeah, of course. And I spent a lot of time playing Lord of the Rings Online, but I'm big on the PvP as well, actually. I've been doing like more PvE lately because, I don't know, PvP in New World has just been like, it's getting a bit stale, man. You know, I know it's like musket mains like you, Trick, that are always like causing all the trouble.
Okay, all right, see how this is gonna be.
But yeah, I found New World back in, I think it was like 2019. Me and Gamgee went to TwitchCon EU, and there was this little like booth in the back of it, and they said, hey, we're Amazon, we're making games. And I was like, what the flip?
So wait, seriously?
Yeah, no, but no joke. And they brought us into like this little back booth, and they showed us like a New World, but it was like a different game back then. It was like a sandbox PvP game, a bit like a Valheim kind of, but over the years it like changed into what it is now. And I think in a lot of ways for better, because people probably would have got bored of that over time. But yeah, that's like kind of how it happened. It was through TwitchCon, and before then, you know, like it was streaming. Like it's actually kind of weird because we were usually just playing like a lot of battle royales.
Right.
I remember I saw you playing some Fortnite like not so long ago, Trick. So
right.
You know, you got the BR skills
dude,
as well. But
I love battle royales.
Yeah,
they're fun to play.
Yeah, I think some people were saying that like New World should have been like a battle royale, when like they should have done a battle royale game mode when it first came out. But I'm kind of glad they didn't, because I think it would have been awful. Like, I don't know, man. You imagine you drop in a tournament, and then you open up the chest and you find like the fire staff, and then you find the great sword, and yeah, dude, I don't know how that would go.
Actually, that sounds kind of fun, dude.
I think like maybe as a game mode they could try it, but let's
yeah,
maybe
like
so
a different type of...
I think if that was like, we both agree, like, and we're gonna get to this in a little bit, like in terms of like we need more content in the game and like PvP, but I'm not sure if that's the content that we need like right now.
That's not the way to balance the game.
Yeah.
And you get a legendary fire staff and flamethrower people, and then people gonna complain flamethrower still OP or something. Dude, muskets. Everybody will be playing muskets. Who wouldn't play musket in a battle royale New World?
Yeah. Well, you just end up with like random weapons coming out the chest as well. You get like a bow and a life staff, and you just gotta try and make it work. I don't know. Yeah.
How about the attributes? How does that work?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think you'd have to like choose your loadout before you go in there or something like that.
All right.
But yeah, New World so far, like up until now, New World 2022, because obviously when we're doing this podcast, if this is going to be like up on YouTube or like any other podcast place, it's currently the 9th of January. It's the day before the merges. We got some big stuff coming in, and the end of the winter event. But like going up to this point, Trick, since you've been playing, you say like you discovered it a month before release. What has been, I don't know, like is there anything in like 2022 that we think is like worth discussing? It's like, all right, this was the history of New World and where we are now. Because I don't know, there's a good chunk of people who joined in like fresh start. So before then, like, you got any like highlights or like lowlights from 2022 New World that you want to discuss? You want to talk about?
2022, dude, that was last year.
Yeah, I know. So last year.
Oh my god, I was like, Baggins, you're getting it wrong. We are in 2022. No, we're already in 2023.
Yeah,
Jesus. Well, 2022, dude. What a year for New World. It went all the way down to like 10,000 average player online.
Yeah.
That was rough. Those were rough times. Nobody was playing. I remember that I was streaming in demon hours during that time, and there was only like 200 to 300 people watching New World. Dude, think about it. Only 300 people watching New World. That is like not even that is not even like half a server.
Yeah.
It has to be due to the just glitchy the game was at the beginning.
Yeah, you think that's it? You think that's why it dropped so low?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't even think it was the exploit. A lot of people might have said that it was the exploit, but I don't think the exploits was the problem. I think the problems was the actual bad experience that people were having while playing the game. There were so many bugs and glitches that just made you lose battles and just made you have a bad time. Because the exploit, yeah, they affected the marketplace, but they really didn't affect your gameplay or play style much. And unless you were like super big in the market or like you cared about controlling the flow of the resources, then and that was the minority of people. I was very close from leaving the game, and it was just literally because the bugs and the issues. And whenever they tried to do the first weapon balancing, that's when I was like, yo, wait, hold on, because there were so many broken things, and then the weapon balancing added more up to that.
Yeah.
And that's when a lot of people actually left when the first weapon balancing came out. But they have gotten so much better at that. And the desync was a big deal. Remember you trying to use me as a mage, right? I will use burn now after getting hit by a gravity well, and then I will be like 20 meters away to get teleported back to the gravity well. And I was like, man, that is really tough. But that is over. That is over. And those are one of the things that we can look now at the game. Like the desync now compared to how it was, a year ago, is like a completely different game. Things are more responsive. The weapon swap was a big deal. Oh, that weapon swap made so many people upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, in give me a second, chat. He's busy. There you go. All right, he's coming back in, and he's back. There
Sorry,
he is.
just the wife. Real quick.
And yeah, just looking how much they have improved the game in this year, because it's an MMO. The MMOs are bound to have a lot of problems, right?
Yeah.
And they have improved tremendously when it comes to at least how the game feels in PvP. It's a lot more responsive. It's a lot less laggy. And look at the wars, man. They made war instances. Remember the early day wars? It was chaotic. Nobody was moving. The lag was humongous. And now having instance wars and having a lot less desync happening in the world. Me as a PvPer, I still enjoy PvP, even though that we haven't had a lot of content.
Yeah.
Right? I still enjoy the PvP because it just feels fun to play the game. It's still rewarding for you to be able to battle a bunch of people and roll through them, because that's what a lot of games don't have, right? That freedom that you can move and attack and just keep on moving and completely outplay the enemy, because it's not tap targeting. I think that is the biggest thing that New World has, right? That in tap targeting, you cannot outplay the enemy unless you outplay them through just pure power. Obviously, there's room to counterplay and outplay, but it's not the same as New World. New World, you could literally dodge everything and never get hit, and in the same way kill the enemy. So the combat for me is the thing that I have enjoyed the most, and the fact that they have refined it a lot, that it's a lot smoother now than it was. At least that keeps me motivated.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think combat in New World is like it's like strong suit. You know, it's the dodging, using your abilities at the right time. I kind of like the fact that you don't have like too many abilities as well. You know, I think that's like a special thing as well, because you like play a lot of other MMOs. You got like a hotbar like filled with abilities. So this is always something that's like an interesting idea. You know, as we like move into the next year now. Do you remember seeing that post up on the forums if somebody was like, yeah, so here I know a guy at Amazon, and here's all the things that are going to be coming into the game. Do you remember that?
No.
It was only like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was some dude on the forums. I mean, it was like, I'm pretty sure most of it was just made up. He was like, so I know a dude who knows a dude who works at Amazon, and he told me that all these things are going to be happening. I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, let's just go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, but one of the things that he said was like, we're going to get like a weapon that has like 6 abilities instead of 3 abilities. And I was thinking like, is that good, dude? I don't know. Do we actually want that in New World? And I think this is like open to like chat as well. Like, what do we think about like more than 3 abilities per weapon? Like, is that gonna like make the combat better or like worse in the game? Because I think about this sometimes. Because I do, you know, I play World of Warcraft and stuff, and I like having lots of abilities. But I think it's like sometimes it's like less is more. So.
The one thing that we have to take in consideration is, yes, we have 3 abilities, right? But we have 2 weapons, making it 6 abilities. Now, each weapon has different light attacks and heavy attacks, right? So that is another thing that we need to add to it. And on top of that, weapons have different things. Like if you want to utilize burst, you have Keenly Empower in a weapon, right? So so that Keenly Empower could potentially be an ability in WoW, right? Like a trinket that you activate that it gives you power, right? And then you also have the Hard Rune, which is another ability. And on top of that, you have the rolls and you have the animation cancels, right? So all of these things, even though we have only, yes, 3 abilities per weapon, there's a lot of things that go into this. And the more you understand how to utilize these 2 weapons, the better as a player you will be. Now, the reason that I would say like tap targeting games have so many abilities is because they need to have an ability for everything. Since it's not like movement is not a thing, right? Movement is a thing, but it's not really a big factor. Positioning is a big factor in tap targeting games, right? So you're the range and stuff like that. But you need to have like a CC ability. You need to have mobility abilities, right?
Yeah.
You need to have pills and all those kind of things. In New World, one ability sometimes do all of that, right? And they have made like 4 or 5 abilities and then put it into one, since we only have like 3 abilities, right? You have the CC, you have the anti-heal, you have the extra damage, right? Which is the empowerment. You have the movement speed. So just because it has 3 abilities doesn't mean that it's just one single thing.
Yeah.
And I think the role is just extremely dynamic, super dynamic.
Yeah. No, I think it's good as well. Chat was saying, by the way, on this like roadmap, the made up roadmap, that the weapon was only going to be like in PVE, I guess. It wasn't going to work in PvP, which is interesting.
Okay.
So this is like I don't know, I'm like jumping the gun a little bit, because I did want to talk about currently right now what we have in the game. We've seen the roadmap for 2023 spring and summer. If you guys haven't seen it, maybe we'll get somebody can put a link in chat or whatever, and we'll link it in the description down below.
I'll link it.
Yeah, you got the link?
Yeah, I'll send it on your stream real quick and on my stream as well.
Okay, because then we can bring it open and we can take a look as well. What is like actually going to be coming to the game in like the next, I guess it's like 6 months.
There you go. I put the link on your stream.
Because like I'm like kind of torn on this, you know? I look at the roadmap and I'm like, yeah, that's some good stuff in there. Thank you. Yeah, there's the link there. So spring 2023. So this is like what we got immediately to look forward to. We got the Empyrean Forge Expedition. So it's a new dungeon. We got the Gear Set Storage System, which is pretty hype. Springtide Bloom event. And main storyline quest improvements. Now, I'm going to like go on a limb here. But if I say, which one of those excites you the most, Trick, and chat, and then we all say it at the same time. So we got new dungeon, gear set storage system, Springtide Bloom, and main storyline quest improvements. What is the most exciting one, Trick?
Ready? MSQ, baby. Let's get it.
Wait,
MSQ.
what? Yeah, dude, I love it. I'm so excited for the level 35 to 45 quests. Yeah, dude.
We need to know what's happening in the story.
Oh, wait, chat's saying gear storage. What? Oh, man,
gear storage.
Oh, it's
Yo,
the gear
wait,
storage?
what?
That's the exciting thing? Oh, okay.
That was the underdog for me.
I wasn't thinking that. I don't think the inventory management, we need it for the game at all. No.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No, for sure. Like, obviously, everybody's like really excited for gear set storage, which is
100%.
It's gonna be a big deal, man. I think it's like from like a PvP and PvE standpoint. It's like if you want to like play different builds, or even like, I guess, I don't know. You can tell me if it's not the case, but when you're doing arena and then you're doing outpost rush, do you equip like different sets of gear? Do you like
depends. Yes, for arenas I have 3 different sets.
Okay, 3.
Yes, I have my anti-range musketeer and archer set. And I have my anti-melee set with freedom and slash protection because of the great sword, the hatchet, the sword and shields. And I have an anti-magic set with full opal and elemental aversion. But now that doesn't really apply because it's like it's a mess in arenas. But once actually ranked arenas come out, you will utilize this better. Obviously, I wish that AGS will decrease the initial time in arenas because that like 2-minute preparation to just eat your soup and use the honing stone is too long.
Yeah.
Plus on top of that,
and
the 2 pillars are
and then like in between rounds you get like 5 seconds.
Yeah, you
to,
only
like,
get 10
changes.
Yeah, like,
so stressful.
Right. You cannot even see the enemy. So what is the point of having 2-minute preparation after you finish the first round and you see what the enemy is using? They're like, okay, I need to prepare now because they're using this, and they're like, you get 10 seconds. And sometimes if a dot hits you right before if you're like the last one dying, whenever you go into the arena, you're still in combat.
Yeah.
And you cannot even change gear. And if you die early and you get put in the freaking thing on top, no, you're still in combat. So yes, I got several sets.
Yeah.
For those things.
So it sounds like, you know, it's like both PvE and PvP then. I don't know, like I'm assuming it's like you know, people who are committed to either like form of content, because like if you're doing PvE, then obviously you got your Ancient Ward, your Angry Earth Ward, your Corrupted Ward and stuff. And then even then there's like some like micro changes you can make as well. Like recently they keep introducing these dungeons where you need to like have 2 different sets of gear and you have to like change halfway through, but there's also like an in-combat timer, so you can't like change, so you have to wait. So
they've been doing that.
Yeah, this gear set storage system I think is gonna be, I don't know, man. I hope it's good. Like I hope I don't really know like how I want it to be. I'm hoping that you can kind of like bundle the gear together. So you click, so you type in an item, like you call this your mage gear or whatever, and then you click all the items that you want to put in there, and then when you click the mage gear button, it puts all the gear on at the same time. Like that's probably the best way to do it, right?
Right, 100%. That has to be the way to do it. The same way you know they have like refining, they have like wood cutting in your inventory. Let you create a tab, you know, tank gear, and then have like a little lock, right? You open the lock and you put the gear that you want there, and whenever you're done, just close that lock. That way you don't remove it or you accidentally put an item in there or something like that. And then it should be another button right next to it that says equip. Yeah. Right. That way, you know, you press the button and it equips, you know, instantly. That way you don't have to start dragging or double clicking. Sometimes that doesn't work either.
Yeah. Farachi raises like an interesting thing. Do you think it should also allow you to change your attributes as well? Should you be able to like change your stats in like one quick, you know, if you want?
No, because you can do the attributes in combat.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't think
so and a thing attribute, it's a gold sync that the game needs. And
yeah, it's true.
I mean, a lot of people don't like the 200 gold thingy, but I think it's fine. It's not a big deal. I mean, we spend 200 gold repairing our gear.
Yeah.
All the time.
No, if they don't, if they take that gold sync out, like there's really not that many gold syncs in New World. Like maybe
there's not like, that many. Yeah.
Rune of Holding or whatever, repair, and it's changing your stats, and I think that's kind of it, right? I don't know. Maybe the companies pay like for the upkeep or whatever.
For the wars and stuff like that. Yeah. It does says gear set a storage system. Why does it say storage system?
I don't know. It's kind of making me a bit nervous. Some people in chat
It's
with
making me nervous too. Yeah,
what
imagine
does
if it is only your storage.
Mean? It's just
So if you go to the storage, you will have the sets there. That would be all. I wanted to. First of all, can we have the same search bar in our inventory that we do in the marketplace?
yeah, man. Even just being able to go to your like inventory and
storage,
such resilient would be. And then it just
exactly, dude. I have store. We all do, right? We have a storage with hundreds of weapon. We have another storage with hundreds of pieces of armor.
Yeah.
If we want to search resilient and shuriken fortification, we don't need to. Nope. Forget it. I'm just gonna buy it out of the marketplace. And yeah, that is horrible. Horrible.
I feel like even if like at the very least, if they can at least introduce that, so you can actually search through your storage shed for a perk, like that's already like a big improvement. But fingers crossed, it is gonna be like
huge,
saving like armor sets in your inventory as well. Yeah. So the 3 other things on the roadmap: Springtide Bloom event, main storyline quest improvements, and the new dungeon. What do you think about the 3 other things, Trick?
Dude, so the Springtime Bloom event, did we have a Springtime event last year?
Yeah, it was the corrupted rabbit thing where you have to kill like millions of rabbits.
Was it?
That was I think that was the spring
for...
thing, wasn't it? I don't know. I might be wrong, chat.
When
do you
is
guys
spring?
remember?
When is the egg painting activity? When do we do that? Is that like in spring?
What, Easter?
What do you Easter? Yeah. When do you do Easter, buddy?
Yeah, it's usually like end of March, isn't it? Like sometime.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay, so do you think it's gonna have a bunnies involved again?
Easter is spring, isn't it? Easter is in the spring, I think. Like March, April.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. I don't know. They said I think they said in the dev video that the Springtide Bloom event is gonna involve like flowers or something like that. Like you have to spray flowers to get bugs off them. So I don't know, man. Like events in New World, it's like I don't know what I say. Like I think like the Medley Fair event was like pretty cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
and the
cool,
first time we did the winter event was really cool. I don't know what it is, but like this time around the winter event, I'm just like kind of like I don't know. I'm just disappointed in it.
It's just I think it lacked the solo content.
Yeah.
You were forced to kill this boss, and it had just too much HP, man. It had like 11 million something HP. You needed like 20, 30, 40 people to do it comfortably. And on top of that, they will give you so little rewards that you needed to kill it like 10 times a day.
Yeah.
And it was a month long. If you were to make this event maybe like 2 weeks long, people would have enjoyed it more, even if it was the same thing. But the fact that it was a full-on month,
yeah,
is like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of tired of it. I got tired of it in the first week. Not only that, it pretty much felt like the world boss at the beginning was amazing, like Balthazar, you know, when he came, and you had to throw the skulls. That was pretty badass. And the fight itself was super awesome, the sound and everything. And then Turkulon came along. Turkulon was fun because you will kill him and he give you like trophies and turkey legs and stuff like that. But then the Winter War didn't give you anything.
Yeah.
You just here, get some shards.
You get the shards. And it's like a random amount as well. Sometimes you get 2 and sometimes you get like 5 or whatever. And
do you know you could get 1?
No, I didn't. That's pretty
Oh, dude, I got 1 yesterday. I was so pissed off. I was like, you kidding me? I've been here for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I get 1 shard? Yo, that was so demoralizing, man.
Yeah.
And it's just, I feel like the best rewards out of the entire event was just like skins and some of the weapon the weapon blueprints, like the ones that like the bow and fire staff, those were very good. The legendary one, if by any chance you didn't have a corrupted war, then they gave you that one. The only downside to that is that it had like lock.
Yeah. So so if we could like, you can kind of like design or like come up with like the ideas of like for the Springtide Bloom event, what is gonna make that event good versus like, you know, being kind of like the winter event. What is it that we want to see in the Springtide Bloom? Like I think you gotta have a store with like some good rewards, you know, some like stuff that's like actually exciting to grind for first and foremost. Otherwise it
100%.
I think it needs to have like more than like one thing as well. You know, you gotta have like multiple different methods to get and those methods should probably be like some solo content, some group content, and maybe something related to crafting. Like I think it would also like maybe not be a terrible idea. I don't know if we've had this yet. Like one of the activities could even be like PvP related. You have a PvE activity, PvP activity, and like something like solo and crafting. Like
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the yearly events should be at least PvP related or have some PvP influence in it, because every single one of the events is PvE, 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 every single one of them, right?
Hmm.
Also, I think the reason that the Medley Fair event was so good and was so successful is because it was mostly soloable.
Yeah.
You know, the best things were the fishing, and there was competition in the fishing. So it was soloable and there was competition. You know, it didn't require a whole server to do the event. You at whatever time, if you woke up at 3 in the morning, you go ahead and take, you know, advantage of the event. At whatever time that you wanted to do it, you were able to do it. And on top of that, the rewards were very nice.
Yeah.
So solo content for events and worthwhile rewards, so people feel rewarded.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think I agree. All right. And then the other two things for this part of the roadmap, which I guess we'll go over like somewhat quickly because the summer is where like the juice is. Main storyline quest improvements.
That's all right.
That's like I guess it's kind of needed. I the only thing I'm like curious about is like, I don't know, like of the percentage of people who are like watching this right now, listening, playing New World, like how many of them would benefit from that sort of content? Like for me, I don't know. I could be. You think? Yeah, you would benefit from it?
Oh, dude, I'm a nerd. I read all the storylines and stuff like that, especially when we run out of PvP content. Oh, I go and choose that out. I start voice acting. I start having conversation with the NPCs.
Okay.
But that is what for me that enriches the MMO playstyle for me. You know,
Yeah.
the more you know about something, the more you enjoy it. Right? I gave this analogy to my chat the other day. It's like if you have one night stand, you don't want to know anything about them, right? But then if you want to have a serious relationship with a person, you want to know their favorite color, what do they do in the mornings, you know, what is their dog's name, what is their favorite breed of dog, right? So, and the more you know about this person, the more like, you know, engaged you are with that person. It's got a little harder for you to like leave it after one night of playing it, you know?
Okay. All right. But I'm going to throw you a curveball here, Trick. This is maybe going to like, this is going to be like a tough question for you. Okay. But like, okay. So if you could take that piece of text on the roadmap that says main storyline quest improvements and replace it with new outpost rush map, which one are you choosing?
Yeah. No, I'll go for the latter.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think main storyline quest improvements are needed, but it's just like, I feel like there's other priorities that I would like to see be in that place. It's just that for me is like one of the least exciting things that's on the roadmap there. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just like I skip too much to the quest text or whatever, but I see that and I'm just like, I just can't get excited for it, man. Compared to what else could be in its place, I just can't get too excited for it. But the new dungeon, I think. What do you feel about the new dungeon?
I'm super excited for that, actually.
Yeah?
Oh, look. So after we ran out of PvP content like a year ago, I started doing a lot of PvE. I started doing a lot of PvE because I already have all of my PvP sets and stuff like that. So I started getting the war sets because I wanted to go like 50 con and I wanted to actually enjoy PvE, right? So I started getting into PvE and I enjoy PvE so much right now that every time that I see a new expedition coming out, I go like, nice. That's very nice. That's
cool.
Very nice. And the Empyrean Forge expedition, first of all, the picture that is in the roadmap, I don't know if that is like the dungeon picture. It looks badass. It looks like it's like covered by, you know, with lava. Yeah. And it's the Empyrean, meaning that it's going to be the gladiator dudes, the Roman dudes that we've been killing, right? So it's going to be probably, again, like Inead, it's going to be lost and corrupted. And I'm super excited for that. I'm really, really super excited for that. Probably it's gonna be more corrupted than ancient, just to switch it a little bit. Not just like close to Inead, but I think it's phenomenal. Yeah, I'm super excited for that.
I think as long as it comes in at the same time as the gear set storage system, because if they're gonna do like another dungeon where you have to like switch your gear like halfway through, it's like, all right, let's get it with the system at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen though.
No, you don't think so? Here's the roadmap, by the way. I was just some people were asking again. So, yeah, you think you're gonna get the dungeon beforehand? What do you get? So we know one of the things that isn't on the roadmap is supposed to be coming in February is leaderboards, which I think are gonna be like pretty cool. I don't know if like you've got like too much thoughts on leaderboards, man. Like
I haven't given it too much thought because it's not finished yet. They still haven't finished it yet. I don't want to get too deep into that. Whenever they first announced it in like a couple of months ago and they were like in the PTR, I went in there and I was looking at it and I was like, this is a terrible idea because it was rewarding just like kills and stuff like that, and it didn't really reward skills. You know, it was rewarding just flat out stats.
Yeah.
Instead of like a something else. Like, you know, if you get the most kills in an OPR, I was like, okay, well, a musket is always going to be on top of the leaderboard. That doesn't mean that the musket is the better player. You know what I mean? And it will create an even more rat style play style that we have now. Imagine if now the musket are just shooting from a distance and there's no leaderboard. Imagine when there's a leaderboard, dude, they will be sitting even further back.
Yeah.
They don't want to get hit by nobody. And yeah, so the leaderboards it's a good idea, but the design that they implemented at first, it was bad. They took it away. They still working on it, and they say that they were going to make it maybe like a little bit different. We need an MMR though. I think we need an MMR for this kind of things.
Yeah.
Especially for a leaderboard.
Yeah, leaderboards probably would have been a good one to come in with like the cross-server stuff later on. Which I guess, you know, brings us into the summer 2023, like the real juice of the roadmap. In there, we got transmog, raid groups, Sandworm Elite Trial, Cross-World Outpost Rush, and Summer Medley Fire Event. All right, Trick. So you can take one of these things, and you get to have that like first. Like that's the thing that like if you can have.
I don't want the transmog. Put the transmog all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, that's the thing that you want last. All right, so if you could, if like you could bring one of these forward, like so it happens in like February or March. Which one are you choosing then? Which one do you want on the menu first?
Sandworm.
Yeah, the Sandworm.
Oh yeah, Sandworm.
More so than the Crossworld like Outpost Rush and stuff.
That I mean, I'll be killing people from other servers. That doesn't make me feel any better. It's probably gonna be a more laggy OPRs because now we're gonna be fighting. Yeah, just think about it. All we're doing here is just killing the same. I don't even look at names when I'm fighting people in OPR. And I'm in one of the most populated servers in NA, so I don't have problem with OPRs either. That will benefit probably like a server that is like somewhat dead, right? But for me, it's not a big deal. Plus, my server has a lot of competition. It's like one of the best PvP servers. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I like that. More people to kill. No, all right. So check it out. The reason I don't want transmog is because I don't know if you see my character, right? I have the pointy sorting hat from Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, you got your wizard hat.
And the wizard hat. And all of my sets, I made sure that every single one of my sets had the wizard hat. Now I stand up because it, you know, a lot of people ask me all the time, how do you get that hat? How do you get that hat? Transmog comes around, everybody's gonna be rolling that hat. Dude, you will see every mage in the world. Oh, look at me with my wizard hat. I, you know, use it as a transmog, and here I am like, god damn it, now I'm no longer the wizard hat guy.
So you just don't want transmog to come into the game because you don't want other people to have the nice things that you have then.
Oh yeah, it's just a selfish approach. Yeah, I don't care about anybody else. It's just about me.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean the Sandworm is like the I feel like saying the Sandworm is kind of like it's the cheat answer, because in order to have the Sandworm, we also have to have the raid groups, right? They have to come in at the same time because the Sandworm I believe is supposed to be a raid boss. So if you get one, then you get the other. So it's like you're getting the buy one get one free deal there. I don't know. I'm excited for transmog. I think it will like add some like long-term super longevity to the game. Like I've already been farming out stupid items. Like I got this there's this chest you can get in the it's up in the top left of the map. I can't know what it's called now. It's oh dude, hold on, I'm gonna open up the map and take a look at it.
Dude, you're gonna take away your Mickey Mouse ears?
Balebane Moor and Strangle Pitch Road. You know those areas like in Great Cleave or whatever. There's a chest that you can farm out there, and I call it the dad bod chest because you get like this. You get this cage that you put over your chest, and it gives you a really big belly for some reason.
Like it makes you fat.
Yeah, your character just has a really big belly, and I'm like,
I know what you're talking about.
I'm so excited to wear that like all the time for my transmog. So stuff like that's gonna be super fun. But yeah, I think if I do like have to give like an honest answer, I think the Sandworm Raid is gonna be pretty cool. My only question with like the Sandworm Raid is like, what are they gonna give as rewards that makes it feel like worthwhile? Like, what's a good reward from the raid like that, you know? And are they gonna do like a weekly, like you can only do it like so many times? Because people had like a big problem when they first introduced mutations. I don't know. I haven't heard your take on this. You can only do 25 mutations a week. Is that good or bad? What do you think? Yeah, you think it's okay?
Awesome, dude.
Okay.
Hell yeah, dude. The fact that I don't need to craft keys, and if you want to do if you wanted to do more than a couple of keys, you needed to find another group and all the people that had keys as well. And then one of them left in the middle, and now you need to wait for that person to come back to use his keys. Hell no, man. The 25 free runs, first of all, 25 is a lot. For people that do maybe only do that in the game, maybe it's not enough, but for regular player, 25 is more than enough. I haven't ever cleared the 25 ever since they did that change.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not the biggest of PvEer, but I barely run out of shards in that sense, right? Like 25 is enough for you to never ever run out of shards.
Yeah. I think 25 is pretty good. You have to like really be going like sweaty for that
Right
week
on,
to
yeah.
get 25. So do you think they should apply the same thing to the Sandworm? I think we're in agreement. I feel hopefully everybody in the chat as well is like in agreement that we don't really want to see a key to be able to get into the Sandworm. Yeah, I think nobody wants to see the keys come back or like a tuning orb.
Right. Although it does say it's trial, and
That's
they
true.
changed the name of the PVE arenas to trials. And if you look at the picture in the roadmap, it's like a cage, right? A cage like arena in there. So more likely than not, the Sandworm is just gonna be one boss. I really wanted a raid.
Yeah.
I really wanted a place that you go in, you kill trash, you have the first encounter, it's a big fight, and then you keep, and then at the end you have the big old Sandworm, right?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. But I think that when with the trial approach, that you go in there, and I really want a raid. I mean, it's 20 people's, but it's just I don't know. We'll see how it comes when it comes out. As for the rewards, it needs to be like, it needs to give you like a specific material that it will help you craft something tremendously good.
I was thinking, like, I was talking about this earlier with chat. Like, what if there was a material that you can get once a week as well? You can't do it too many times. And this material lets you re-roll a stat on an item, so re-roll a perk. So if you get that really good pair of like boots or whatever, it's got like resilient freedom, but then the third perk is indestructible. You can re-roll that to be like resilient freedom.
I think that is too powerful.
You think that's too OP?
Yeah, it would be better to change the attributes.
Yeah.
How about that? You know how many times you get a piece of armor that has the banger perks, but the attributes are messed up?
Yeah, it's strength focus.
Yeah, right. And you right. Or if we could go with your way, and then you choose the perk, but it's a random. You know, you don't get to choose. You just get to roll that random. And every week you're looking forward to it. All right, this is gonna be the week that I'm gonna get it, you know. And that also could keep on playing. Maybe give you a couple of attempts a week, maybe like 3.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
I think.
And
like,
how big are the groups?
They said, I think they said it's gonna be 4 groups of 5, I believe.
4 groups of 5, so 20 people.
Yeah, 20. And Danny was saying like I'm hoping raid groups will apply to open world too, which I agree. Yeah, I think it would be like cool if you could bring that to like other forms of content, you know.
100%. Yeah. So whenever they announced the raid groups, I was very excited because I was like, yo, if you made raid groups, right? You can make like one of the top 3 zones like free for all. And if you want to go to like Merc, for example, you make a raid group because 20 people is more than enough to do elite runs, right? And it's open PvP for anybody that is in those three zones.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you always flagged. And that, I think there's a lot happening in those 3 zones. People go there for the resources, the elite trains, right? You have mines, you have Merc. Some people even go to Mango. So I think having probably like a territory that you are always flagged, that is like a high risk, high reward kind of thing, because the best resources are up there, right?
Yeah.
And I think that'll be really fun. And if you want to do the elite trains, then you just make a group of 20 people, you know, X for Merc, and you have you fill your 20 slot, and whenever you fill your 20 slot, you're like, hey, we're full. That said, if you come over here and you're flagged, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That could be like, so we got spring and we got summer 2023. Last time we had a roadmap. We also had autumn or fall as well, but we don't have it this time. We don't get to see that far into the future. Have you got any predictions or even just anything that you want to see? If we got to see that third box there for autumn or fall 2023, what are you putting in that trick, or what do you think might be in there? I don't know. Either or is like.
It's probably going to be a new weapon, new OPR map,
Okay.
new arena map if they have listened to the community.
Yeah.
Right. If they have listened to the community, and then a new dungeon,
Okay. Do you
and
think
then probably quality of life things.
so? You don't think there's gonna be another new region added this year? You don't think we're gonna get like another?
No. I think if the new region come, it's gonna come for the December end of time of the year. But I don't think. Do you think we need a new region?
I think by the time it gets to like September, probably. I don't know. I guess it depends. Like looking at the content and the roadmap right now, like how long is this gonna last us? But yeah, for me, I think like once a year, adding a new zone would probably be pretty cool.
They could add more content to the zones that we have.
Yeah.
Right? Like revamp some of this, because for example, First Light is completely relevant. Like, why do we adding more zones if we have zones that nobody even go to there to do absolutely nothing in the game, right?
That's true.
So First Light is like a forgotten zone. People only go to Morningdale to see the rain and collect blue weed. People only go to Restless Shore. I don't even know what would you go to Restless Shore for, right?
People put the camps on the beach so they can do like 2v2 tournaments.
Something, yeah, man. So we have a bunch of zones that we don't really ever utilize in the game, right? Like look at Brimstone Sand. Brimstone Sand is super popular because you have 3 elite zones in that area. On top of that, you have the Golden Scarabs, and on top of that, you have a bunch of resources that you can collect there, right? And in that zone is always pretty active. Even though it's the biggest zone, you will see more people in Brimstone Sand than you will see in First Light.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe we should rework and make every zone feel good.
Yeah.
Every zone feel rewarding. Right. And they already have the zone there. All they have to do is start adding activities to those zones.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's like the zones that are level based though is also like that's kind of what the problem is, you know.
Right.
Like the higher level zones are like you're in Ebonscale and Reekwater and Brimstone maybe more often because it is level 60. But that's also like where the materials are and stuff as well. So
but
yeah.
Look at Cutlass Key. Cutlass Key is a low level zone, but it has amazing resources. It has like metal routes, star metal. It has a lot of rawhide as well. It has a dungeon down there. Like, for example, First Light was taken away from the starting zones.
Yeah.
So you don't really have a reason to go to First Light at all, man.
That's true. It is pretty pointless to go there.
Yeah, it's forgotten. And it's a beautiful town.
But
yeah.
Well, I see some people in chat saying like, so for me, one of the reasons why I would see a new zone be in the roadmap is because they've told us they want to add mounts, you know? They want to add the clippy clop, the ponies and stuff.
About mounts.
So,
that's a good topic.
And I think if you're going to bring mounts in, for me, it like you introduce it with the zone. You have like a zone that makes sense for mounts. And maybe, I don't know, maybe initially the mounts are only usable in that zone or something.
In that zone?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
they go ahead.
I'm just like, for me, like mounts, I'm like the whole time I'm like a little bit nervous about it. It's like, are they gonna allow it in combat? Is it only while you're moving around the map? Like, should it be limited to like one zone? Are we gonna are you gonna be able to use them in wars? Like, dude, imagine how much that would change things. This would be
Everybody
so insane.
coming out of the gate in horses.
Yeah.
Freaking going to Sea Point. So they did say that the next zone was not gonna be as big as Brimstone.
Okay.
Right. So
I don't remember that.
And if they're going to release mounts, first of all, how fast are these mounts? You know, that is because if they're like normal running speed, like it's just gonna be like a vanity item more like anything else.
I think it should be like the speed when you like you get the gathering alacrity, like when you chop something down and then you zoom off.
Oh, that's nice.
I think that should be like the
30.
speed.
Okay, then we need to remove waypoints.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to remove not all of the waypoints. Have you ever played BDO?
Yeah, I've played a little bit, yeah.
You know how there's no teleportation in BDO. If you want to go from one map to the other, you need to run there.
Yeah, although you can set like an auto route, like a flight path. From World of Warcraft,
Right. Exactly. You can do like an auto route, and your character will go from there. But they have breeding. You know, their mount system is marvelous, and they can your mount can go so fast. And they gave mounts abilities, so it's actually like engaging. You can use the abilities of the mount while you go from one map to the other. So if they're going to add mounts, we cannot have the waypoints, because then what is the reason, right? We teleport from one waypoint to the other, get on the mount, go to the other waypoint, and or whatever you want to do. So right now, it's pretty easy for you to move across the world.
Yeah.
So adding mounts, it would just, I don't know, be a lot even. It's just I don't see how it will fit the game.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I never really thought the New World need mounts, but I think like the people kept asking Amazon over and over again. I think a lot of people who want mounts in New World don't even play New World anymore, but you know, it is what it is. Amazon said they're doing it. It's like it's in the design stages now or whatever. So, like, here's a like just a we'll just like throw it to chat then. Like, guys, do you think maybe just like we'll start with a new zone? Do you think we're gonna get a new zone this year, chat? Like, yes or no? Are we feeling, you think there's going to be a new zone or not? Like, if they do reveal the roadmap, autumn.
No, my chat is saying yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying yes on my chat.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of yeses as well.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, everybody.
Some people say no.
You get them. Yeah.
That's like, there's a few no's coming in now. I don't know, man. That's yeah, I could see the argument to like go back and make the zones better. I can also see the argument, like I'm like the whole mounts thing is gonna be like, I don't even know how they're gonna introduce those to the game and have it make sense. But they're certainly gonna be able to make sell you some skins though, dude. Think of all the sick mount skins we're gonna be able to get tricked.
Dude, that's, oh my god. Do you think it's gonna be like just one horse? Because New World, I mean BDO for example, it's horse only, right? But some other MMOs take a lot of different approach where you can ride a lizard, a freaking snail, a turtle, freaking griffin.
I think it's gonna like follow the evolution of skins in the game, where initially it was just like appropriate, you know, it was like stuff that you'd only see in like the 17th century, and then it starts getting like weird over time, you know. It's like it starts off as a horse, but then maybe you get a camel, and then maybe there's gonna be like a horse, but it's wearing like a silly hat, and then it's gonna be like, you know, a turtle, and then it's gonna just be like, yeah, it's gonna get crazy over time, you know.
I mean, we have so if we go to the animals that we have in New World, right? We had the wolf. We could be riding an alpha wolf. That could be kind of cool, right? We have the deers. We have the angry earth deers. We have bears.
The elemental elk. That's what I want, dude. I want one of those.
Yeah,
things,
the elemental elk. Those are cool. Yeah. And we also have buffaloes. I don't think we have buffaloes this amount.
Oh yeah, dude, get in a bison and just freaking ride around on it.
we have the scorpions in Brimstone, the scarabs as well.
Maybe a goat.
I mean, they could go.
That'd be pretty cool. Imagine a big goat.
Oh my god,
somebody
a goat.
With it. All right,
yeah, but yeah, for combat, it'll be weird for combat, right? Because like, can you use it in combat? Like, can you use it like 1 minute, or can, you know, what if you're running around? If somebody hits you, do you dismount or something like that? Because imagine just you there with a fire staff, and somebody comes with a horse, and you're like. And the guy just keeps going, you know what I mean? It's like, well, god damn it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you know what I mean? Or somebody just clears out, run away, get on the horse, like, I'm out. You know?
Yeah. I think it would have to be like if you take damage, you get dismounted or something, and then there's an in-combat timer. I don't know though. The whole thing is like hard for me to like.
It's very
hard.
I
don't know. I can't imagine how it's gonna work. Let's talk about something that we can imagine. Okay, so you said there's gonna be a new weapon. You were saying like a new weapon. What do you think? What sort of weapons do we need, Trick, in the game? We've had like a big hints that the next weapon is going to be focus, like a healing weapon.
Focus base,
which I'm pretty happy for, because we've just like life staff and that's it. It's like there's no other choice if you want to heal. What do you think? Do you think 2 weapons this year, or do you think just 1?
Probably just 1. And if we get another one, they're going to announce it for December, but they will not release it in December. They will release it in February.
Okay. If you were in the position to like choose what the next weapon is going to be, what would you choose, Trick? Would you
like my personal choice, like my legit personal choice? Right. It'll be the daggers.
Okay.
But you're right. The reason I want daggers is because I play rogue in other MMOs and stuff like that, and I think daggers will be very, very dynamic. But the reason that I mainly wanted daggers is because it was very hard to kill the healers. And I thought for myself, all right, the rogue is going to be like that anti-healer class, right? They can have like a silence. They can have like an anti-heal on their opening, right? Or something like that. But then they went away and freaking released the biobomb. And I was like, well, now everybody can use the biobomb. And that's pretty much anti-healing right there, right? So we no longer kind of need the rogue as to be the anti-healer, because now everybody can be the anti-healer.
Yeah.
And then they were like focus, and I was actually very excited. Whenever they announced the focus weapon, I was like, okay, no daggers. I'm okay with a focus weapon. And then I was like, what's it gonna be? You know, is it gonna be like a flail? Is it gonna be a mace and a shield? Like, what do you think? What is it? What do you? I heard you say that you want it to be a tome.
Yeah,
Is
like a
that what you want it
spellbook.
to be?
I think that's what I want. Yeah, I want like a spellbook where you cast like
Uh huh.
because I think I was looking also like trying to make it just make sense. Not necessarily even what I want it to be, but I was just like, all right, we got a void weapon, we got an ice weapon, we got a fire weapon, we got a nature weapon. We don't have anything for lightning, and we don't have anything for arcane. And I was thinking like,
Right.
all right, what about like an arcane? Because I was thinking like, what would arcane magic be? And I feel like it would be more. It would be like more supportish,
You
the
think
arcane.
so?
Yeah, I don't know, like shields and stuff, and like maybe I don't know. It's gonna be kind of broken, but like rewinding back in time a little bit, or like repositioning the enemy to push them to like pushing them back, like force pushes, and shielding your teammates and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty. That'd be pretty cool for me.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like somebody in chat raised like a good point. Senpai says, "Do you really think the new? What was the question? Do you think the new focus weapon will be a healing alternative and not you both have to use? Yeah, you have to use both. That is a good question. Like if they introduce another healing weapon, is it going to be that you just have to use life staff in that weapon? Is that
No.
Hopefully, it's like a viable alternative.
I think the way they showed it is like it's gonna be another healing weapon.
Yeah.
It's because the Void Gauntlet essentially was that. It was a weapon designed to use as a healer, right? If you wanted to play a little bit more offensive. The thing is, the light staff by itself is already pretty strong doing the healings and stuff, right? So imagine having two. I mean, you could. I'm pretty sure you freaking could put two healing weapons and probably be like a healing machine. Think about it. If you're in wars and this weapon gives you some sort of survivability with the shields and stuff like that, oh my god, that's gonna be insane because you could just go like single target heals with that with the light staff and then use that other weapon to like AOE healing, give you shields. So then we might need the rogue. We might need the daggers after this next weapon.
Yeah. Well, I just hope it's like a weapon that like you can actually like right now if you want to heal in the game like you have to use life staff. There's no choice. Like you have to use life staff. So I think it would be like cool if this weapon was like you could actually take the life staff off and then you could run this weapon plus Void Gauntlet or this weapon plus Rapier or something like that. I think it would be nice. Whatever it's gonna be, that hopefully it actually is a viable replacement. Not just like you have to use this weapon with the life staff or whatever, kind of like with the Void Gauntlet, like a full-on solo healing weapon. It's kind of what I want. Yeah.
Do you want it to be defensive more than like, because the life staff it's like super healing focused, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to like stay alive, you just gotta stay on top of your heals. Do you rather to be healing or over shields, like something that is more utility based?
Yeah, it's tricky because I want it to be shields, but when I say that, then you're probably still gonna have to run it with the life staff because it's like so it needs to have healing as well. If it's gonna be a main healing weapon, then it has to do healing, but at the same time, you want it to be like a little bit different from the life staff. So yeah.
What do you prefer though? Because for example, life staff can heal you. Let's say for example, it heals you for like 4,000. But what if this weapon puts a 4,000 shield on you that lasts like 10 seconds? When you look at these two things, if the enemy's not hitting you, those 4,000 healing from the life staff were like gone.
Yeah.
Right. But the 4,000 shield, you could actually play a lot of aggressive because that shield, it's going to protect you. Plus, you have the potions, and I think that it would add a lot more dynamic than just have flat out heals out there. Because if it is just flat out heals, let's keep using the light staff.
Yeah. It's true.
Do you like healing in New World? Have you healed in all the games before?
Yeah,
like in Lord of the Ring.
Yeah, I've healed in quite a few other. I healed in Rift and Lord of the Rings Online. I don't remember doing any healing in BDO. I don't think I played enough, but I think like healing is still kind of janky in New World. It's better now that we get the keybinds and stuff, but it's still like I wish you could like one of the things that's difficult is just freaking selecting your party members still. Like finding them in like a sea of people, like especially in wars. The only way I ever find my group to heal in wars is like I have to keep opening up the map to see where they are in relation to everything. Crazy. So if you could actually put some symbols above your heads, that would be nice.
Right. A symbol that you can see from afar. Not like crazy. You're in a group of 50 members, the easiest way for you to see where they are, it's not even looking to where they are, is opening the map and see where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Have you had any ideas? So something that they say in the roadmap as well is additional content with each release. Hot gem runes, quality of life improvements, cinematics, The first one, obviously, what they've been doing so far is every time they add a new dungeon or a mutated dungeon, we get a new heart gem rune. Because with the Ennead, there was the the dungeons seem to be that they have a heart gem rune, with the exception, actually no, Depths and Dynasty Shipyard don't have a heart gem, do they? But
because they are corrupted, I think, and there's a the only corrupted rune is the wings thingy, and that makes sense. That comes from Isabella.
Yeah, but I'm guessing that Empyrean Forge is probably gonna have a new heart gem.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to think is there any sort of heart gem like ideas that we need in the game, like anything that would be pretty cool?
Oh, I want one. A mobility heart gem. Yeah. Right now we don't have any. Yeah, we have a root. First of all, dude, Dark Ascent is so bad. Like they need to do they need to do something with that hard rune. It's literally the only hard rune in the game that has absolutely no use. The Detonate, it's amazing. The Vines, amazing. The Stormform, amazing, right? The Bio Bomb, amazing.
Yeah.
The cannon, it's just fun.
The cannon is also like pretty awful as well, I'd say. I think the cannon's actually worse than the Dark Ascent.
No way, dude.
Dude, Dark Ascent is like in PvE, you can like pop it in a big crowd of enemies, and if you take the lifesteal thing, it's like a full heal. Whereas like Cannon Blast is like boom, and you hit somebody for like the power of a heavy attack. I'm like, oh no, I'm destroyed. They've hit me with a heavy attack. I'm like, and then you have to wait like 3 minutes or whatever. Oh man, it's just so bad.
Yeah, I forgot about the cannon.
Yeah. I think like maybe like I'm looking at like Empyrean Forge, and I'm like looking at the icon for it, and so, like what if you turn like red hot, you get like really on fire, and then you're
like
just running like super fast, like a fury rush or something, and you do damage as you pass through people. That could be kind of cool.
Like
right?
a lava rush or something like that.
Yeah.
And you like push people that you hit with it.
Yeah, you're like out of my way. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty kind of cool. Yeah,
and maybe you even leave like fire on the ground behind you or something.
I was thinking about that too.
An option to
I wanted that for Burnout. So if they do it for that, then I will never see it in Burnout.
Oh yeah, I was thinking, Nick, that's basically like Burnout, but better, isn't it? Yeah.
I was like, why don't you just give it to Burnout, man?
Yeah, I realized there's actually the ability like that. I forget about the fire staff. It's
it happens often. People forget that weapon exists in the game until they get hit by a flamethrower. They're like, God damn it! Fire staff.
Somebody in chat was like, I can't see the comment now, but when we were talking about what do we want the next weapon to be, and somebody said a fire staff that actually does damage. And I was like, that's pretty good, man.
It's so funny. That's pretty good. Yeah. Oh man.
All right, man. Well, I think we've been like talking for like an hour here. It's gone by
a solid hour,
fast. Yeah.
Pretty fast.
We could probably like
super fast
keep talking about stuff for like ages and ages, but I guess we're gonna save it for a future podcast. So
for next week,
yeah.
I mean, this is pretty easy. We can sit here and talk about anything. We can talk about quality of life thing that we won for on the next stream. Pros. The server merges are happening tomorrow.
Yeah, actually, that's true. We talk about that real quick. So 2 big things. This is probably for like YouTube and like people who are listening to this in the future. Maybe not going to be as relevant, but last day of the winter convergence event today, and also server merges coming in tomorrow. I don't think there's too much to be said in the way of server merges. You could maybe like look at what resources you could buy that are going for more gold on the other server. Do some like calculations there. With the winter convergence event ending. I just spent all my tokens. What are you recommending that people spend their tokens on, Trick? If you've got some leftover winter currency thing, what would you recommend to people they buy?
I would say, I mean, if they like the skins, pick the skins. The only thing I'm afraid of is that they will probably release the same skin next year, because you saw how they released last year's winter event skin for this year. And they put it in the store and they put it in the winter conversions. So now, for me, at least the skins always take priority, because I always thought that the skin, something that is unique, right? It's never coming back. But then the skins are pretty expensive. So if you don't have that many tokens, probably spend it on the gear pieces that people actually buy and craft.
Yeah.
Like the light pants or like the heavy helmets or the medium gloves. And if you don't want gear, the 2 weapons that I recommend that you buy are the blue tokens for fire staff and bows. Those are the ones that are going to sell for the most.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. I bought 20 of the bow, the Blizzard's Fury, and I got 20 of the fire staff as well. I'd also did 20 Great Axes as well, because I was just like, I don't know, maybe Great Axe is going to be good. Could be.
It's vicious. Is not like super sought off for great axe, but he probably some crazy hatchet. People in chat say hatchet. Do people like vicious in hatchet? I'm not. I don't use hatchet. B. What do you think of hatchet?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. Like in PVE, people are looking for like rogue. They want the bane and they want the refreshing torrent. So
that's
and then
or
PvP.
enchanted.
I'm not sure. Like I think like the problem is PvP. So the problem with like vicious. Well, vicious kind of makes sense because in PVE you guarantee getting the backstab because you're trying to like if you're doing it well, you should be hitting the enemy in the back. And vicious is good there. But I think the problem is rogue is just a better version of vicious, right? It's just like more crit damage from the back. So. Yeah.
Right. It only doesn't work in certain scenarios. Like for example, if you're fighting Shardies, like there's no way that you can like hit him in the back. But yeah, other than that, Rogue is just a better vicious. It's just a vicious. It will happen, wherever you hit him from, front or back.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We should clarify, in case anybody doesn't understand, by the way, with the winter crafting pans, specifically for the weapons, it's like a really high likelihood. It's like 20% of the time plus the like vicious is going to come out.
It's more.
Like,
it's even more.
Yeah. It's like vicious is going to show up on those crafting patterns so much. So if you bear that in mind, when you're making a weapon with those patterns, are you comfortable with vicious being on it? If so, then that is a good pattern, which is why bow and fire staff in particular, I think those are probably the best weapons to have vicious on, right?
Right now, especially with the flamethrower, fire staff. I mean, vicious is good for the fire staff always, and for bow, it's like almost mandatory.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah, and rapier maybe works well as well. Okay, that's good. I think it's gonna do it for episode 1, Trick. I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Oh, that was phenomenal, dude. I loved it.
Yeah, it was good fun. We should do this again. I will say for like for the YouTube and also for like any other platforms, I don't know where we're gonna upload this to, like Spotify or Google Podcast or whatever. If it has like a rate and review system and you want to help us out, then leave a good review or a high rating or whatever. I don't know. This is the first time I've really like properly done podcasts. Yeah. So whatever the equivalent of like and subscribe is on the relevant platform. Do that. And if you're here on Twitch, I don't know, just thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys.